Well, hello everybody, welcome to Robert's Train Set. I've got my head this way, just to give everybody a bit of a chance if they don't want to see. It's not too bad, I must admit, but you know, I just thought a warning might be useful. So I had the growth cut out of here. All went very well, I must admit. Really efficient and nice. And one bit of good news, hopefully, is that both the surgeon and the nurse said these are hardly ever cancerous. So got to wait, I don't know, 4 to 6 weeks, I think, or 6 to 8 weeks for the result. But they say not likely to be. So what's in this episode? I'll try and do this quickly. So at the end, I'm going to really start on the old station. Yeah, I want to get on with this and get it done. And I'm obviously going to use the platform that I was given as kit to carry on. So as I said in the last one, I've got to alter it a bit on the platform edge. So how that's going to work, I don't know. So just at the beginning here, just to finish off my bit on the locos that I was a bit worried about, wasn't I? I've got a little bit on that, and I'll explain it as you see the film, I think, either talking or with the old tippy-tappy, as Alan would say. Yeah, that's about it really. So we'll see how we get on with this. I don't expect to get this platform finished, but we'll see how we go. So I'm about 5 days with this. I've had it done 5 days ago, and I've got another 5 days to go before all the stitches come out, all 13 of them. So I think, but it's been great. I mean, it hurt for a couple of days. Took the old tablets, but yeah, it's been good. So I think we'll call this a day, shall we? And I'll show you what I took. Cheers, everybody. Cheers. So I set it as slow as the duty will go, which is in this particular case is about 4 miles an hour on here. Whether it's actually 4 miles an hour, probably not. And I just let it run and see what happens. So yeah, so watch this. I have cut it a bit so that it doesn't take as long as it did. So yes, you did actually get all the way up here without stopping, which you know didn't do before. You didn't do that before. So got all the wheels connecting with each other, which is what wasn't happening. So bit of a clean. I took it all apart really and had a go. So well worth it. So stopped her here and then just put her backwards at the same speed. This didn't go quite so well, as you'll see. So yeah, I just wanted to compare how she did up here to down there. And as you'll see, not as good really, I wouldn't have said. So have a watch. So as we were here, I thought it was worth giving her a run because she'd been going slow, hadn't she? There we go. So I ran her a bit faster here, but you can hear it's a lot better, isn't it? So then I gave her a run. I thought, give her a run, see how she gets up. So set up on the dining room table because it's far too hot in the conservatory later in the day. And got the kit out, as you can see, and had a look at all the bits. And these are the bits that go on the edge of the platform to set back the downstand. And as I've mentioned about 3 times now, I need to adapt this existing station building. And these need to sort of be that way back. So that's what it should look like on the new stuff. What have I got to do to get the station building to work? But I thought it would be far better to get on with the new bits and then I can work it accordingly, can't I? So I did the usual templates, just A4 paper, and worked it in. And obviously I've got to butt up against this new bit, this old bit. And the same the other side. So I'm sure you've seen it thousands of times. So I've got a few carriages to try with the sort of pencil fixed to the side as you need. And I've got to say that, yeah, you do need to be careful. I thought I got plenty of room, but when you look at some of these, they are really, really close, you know, as you can see here. So I gradually kept this back here to allow it to work. And I'm still hoping that that's going to be all right. There's plenty of gap on the straight bits, but I'm not too worried about that, I don't think. So the locos have got to go across the crossover, haven't they, to run around. So it's a ginty, and with it set that far back, which is what the pencil told me to do, you know, it just about misses. And the prairie was a bit even closer. So I think it might be, because I've got to rework this, worth taking out a scallop out of there. So everyone, as you've seen in the pictures, I've tried all these around the platforms, and the results are quite surprising, as I said. So let's go and have a look at the final sort of template ready for cutting the station platform top surface. So I think I'm not going to have this right to a sharp point. I shall probably chop this off square somewhere, maybe here or somewhere, I think. This is where we had the trouble with the carriages hitting, so I think somewhere there would probably be do it. And as you can see, we've got a lot of lines on. But it's surprising how far over it comes. Now I have left quite a lot of room on the sort of straight bits because I don't want any problems. Now I think where the points are, and as you saw with those little engines, the carriages hit. The shorter carriages only just, but the Mark IIIs are miles over. So, but would you want to shunt carriages round this bit? Probably not. So not a problem. And this is obviously where my station building is going to be. And then I need a bit of platform there, don't I? So that should be fairly straightforward. I'm going to keep this as one template, I think, rather than have separate ones, and keep it all intact because it needs to line up, doesn't it? So the next thing to do is basically to cut these bits off, I think, so that I can then plant this onto the surface material and cut them out, and then you work your way back from that. So we'll get on to the next bit, shall we? So here they are all cut with their gaps, and I put little arrows to get a measurement to get it in the right place, because there's obviously nothing to show where it's supposed to go. And here I put a bit of masking tape to show the end, and that's where I'll cut it off. So the first thing was to mark out the templates on the surface board. I did that upside down, as you can see, and it actually did follow it around the paper template with the pencil. To get where the joins were, I did this, just cut some bits out so I could get at it, because I wanted to keep the template together. And there we are, I cut them out, and yeah, great. Not easy. I did it freehand, basically, with the knife. So I checked the surface thing onto the template and just checked it was right. Did the one at the other end that goes up against the back seam. That seemed fairly straightforward, didn't it? And then I marked where the joints, and I left a bit on the joints so that I could work it out. Now the next bit was to get the buffer stop at the end of that bay platform to cut into the station building. So that's what I did, because there's a little lip on it and I wanted to keep that and trap it. So there we are. Worked quite well. I was a bit dubious, but yeah. And I think it looks, reasonably neat like that. Yes, the train would plough through the building, but there we are. It's a model railway. And as you can see, cut the platform up against it. So there's the surface of the platform, all cut, all been checked it. And I think then the next bit to do was to get this joint to work. So I did that, and also the one at the other end a bit. And then it was a case of gluing these edges on. And I used the high tack again, which worked well. A little bead. And it really stuck quickly. It was really, really quick. Magic. It was. So put some weights on just to keep them flat, although it dried almost instantly, so it wasn't a case of doing that. And this glue was phenomenal. It really was. I mean, it made it so easy, I think. It could have been a right nightmare. Got all my cramps out, never used any. Didn't need them. So then a case of putting the walls up, the edge of the platforms, as you can see. Easy, push it, glue along and glue it on. And then I did my spacers, as you can see, like this. And I did bridge the gaps, the joints with these little bits, which was, yeah, it worked very well. So then overnight I used to leave it there in position and put some weights on to sort of just keep it flat, although it sits lovely, Now, looking at this, you can see there's quite a big gap up to the coach, and I wasn't really happy with this. I think the pencil was maybe a bit thick that I marked it with, I don't know. So I decided to stick a bit of edging along it. So I used some of the card that comes with the kit, marked out 2mm, and then just cut them off, as you can see. So I got a few cut, great fun. And then it was a case of sticking it on the edge. So I don't know if you can see it. It's not great, this picture, but you can see it there. You can see it again stuck on the underneath here. And I thought that would work quite well, I must admit. And it, you know, it stuck again, really, really easy. So I tried it with the carriages. So we're coming along well here. I'm quite pleased how my progress has come to this point. I've got the platforms done. Now, I think by saving, just getting all this out of one sheet, I've got different tones of the platform, but these can be probably weathered out a little bit. I'm a little concerned that this doesn't seem to line up, but we'll have a look when we do the work on the station building. And even I've now got the end platform in with a bit of walling here. Now I'm not sure we'll see the walling, but I thought it was worth putting it in. So what's to do now? So skimming over the rooftops. I'm very happy now that with that planted on bit, it looks a lot better. Obviously it's round, isn't it? So it's never going to be, say, tight like I've got up in the loft. So if I just move out this carriage here, as you can see, the bit that I've glued on to sort of extend it out, I've painted it white, because the next job to do is, if I pan up slightly, is to fit all these platform edges to it. So I'm going to go away and do that, and I'll show you a few photographs of what it looks like with these on. So this was only one coat, and I think that's all it needs really. It almost looks it's weathered, isn't it? Yes, platform self-adhesive edging strips. Yeah, it didn't quite work out like that. This is a really old kit, could be 10 years old, and they just did not stick properly. So I decided I'll have to use an alternative method. I did try and stick them, but they just curled up. And yeah, I went back to my high-tack glue. This is working out really, really well, this stuff. This is the thin stuff again. So I put a little bit in a pot and a very small fine brush and literally just glued them up and stuck them on. And yeah, they stuck very well. I was pleased how this done. And I used a spoon to sort of rub over it, burnish it on, and that did help getting any kinks. But I think actually using a wet glue made them curl round the bends better, to be honest. I think as a dry one it would have been hard. And as you can see, it worked out quite well. I overlapped the joints. I didn't just butt it up, I overlapped the joints. And here we are. So we've got the edging strip all the way down, obviously not where the station is, because that's still to be done. And I think it looks okay. So the next bit to do is to sort out the station building. As you can see, there's quite a difference there, isn't there? So that'll be in the next part, update, and next just a little bit of running, just to show it off. So a little bit of short run in there to show it off a bit. What did you think? Looks okay. I must admit, it's nice to have a platform to run the trains into. It makes a bit better, doesn't it? So, as I said earlier, next episode, part 22, sorting out this station building finally. So, I hope you can join me for that. Bye.